When the 2018 MacBook Air was released, I have to admit I was a bit disappointed. Performance is a bit sluggish, ports are limited, the display is pretty dim, and it's about $100 more expensive than I expected it to be. However, after a couple of months, I've come to realize that I wasn't looking at it through the eyes of the vast majority of Apple's Mac user base who just wanted a reliable MacBook with great battery life for everyday tasks. Now, I'm 100% certain that the 2018 MacBook Air is the perfect MacBook for most consumers, and here are the top 7 features or reasons that make it so. The number 1 feature is the new Retina display. You don't have to be a prosumer to see that the old MacBook Air's display was extremely outdated and substantially worse quality than many of the latest gen iPhones. The new Retina MacBook Air's display has 3 times the pixels as the old one, and it now uses IPS technology instead of TN, so it doesn't change colors or get very dim when viewing from an angle. Everything just looks sharp in general. The only downside to the new display is that it doesn't get very bright compared to the other MacBooks like the 2017 MacBook Pro. It may be a big deal for some, but it's definitely not enough to be a deal breaker. One thing for sure is that a dimmer display will lead to an increase in battery life, and that leads us into feature number 2. Out of Apple's current early 2019 MacBook lineup, the new MacBook Air is the only one that is rated for longer than 10 hours of battery life, 12 hours to be exact. This is actually a huge deal for a lot of people who want to take their MacBook on the go and avoid having to plug in their charger for as long as possible. Not only that, but because of the processor's low 7-watt TDP, it's gonna drain less power during heavy workloads than a 2017 13-inch MacBook Pro's 15-watt processor. So no matter what task you're doing, the new MacBook Air is the way to go if you want the best battery life. Feature number 3 is the updated keyboard. You may have heard of Apple's butterfly keyboard having issues with broken keys due to small debris. Well, this MacBook Air is packing the 3rd generation butterfly keyboard, which features a silicone membrane barrier that makes for a quieter typing experience and possible reliability improvements. The issues haven't yet been proven to go away with the new keyboard, but it's definitely an upgrade over the 2016 and 2017 MacBook keyboards, including the 13-inch MacBook Pro, which is a direct competitor to the new MacBook Air. On top of that, it features individually backlit keys that look a heck of a lot better than the old MacBook Air's keyboard that seem to have more light bleeding around the outside of the keys. On to feature number 4 is the Force Touch Trackpad. If you've never experienced the difference between the Force Touch Trackpad and the old MacBook Air's trackpad, you need to go to the Apple Store and check it out. It feels worlds better because it doesn't actually click, it just vibrates to simulate a click, similar to how the solid-state home button on iPhone 7 and 8 works. This means that you get an even clicking feel even in the corners of the trackpad. Now you can't get that on the old MacBook Air. You can also customize everything about it in the settings. Not to mention that it's quite a bit larger than the old trackpad, making it much more comfortable to use. For feature number 5, the speakers have greatly been upgraded from the last MacBook Air, which actually housed them underneath the keyboard, lacking any type of grills. The new Air has speaker grills on both sides of the keyboard, and they sound amazing. Just listen to the sound comparison. As you heard, they're louder, pack much more bass, they have a wider dynamic range that sounds more full, and brighter highs as well. I know a lot of people use headphones with their MacBooks, but these speakers are now easily loud enough to watch a show on Netflix, even if there's some noise in the background, and that's a pretty big deal for me personally. Feature number 6 is Apple's new T2 security chip, which has both obvious and hidden benefits. The obvious benefits are things like getting Touch ID for authentication and the Hey Siri feature. For the hidden benefits, the T2 chip makes everything from the microphones and FaceTime camera to internal storage more secure and perform better. Another benefit that isn't talked about very often is Secure Boot, which can disallow booting from external devices and ensure that only a trusted operating system can run. Years down the road, Apple could release a new operating system that requires the T2 chip to run, so 2018 MacBooks, including the MacBook Air, could run the latest macOS software for many more years. Finally, for feature number 7, the MacBook Air features 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. Now, I'm not sure how many people will actually put the ports to their full potential, but it really opens up the possibilities for those who actually will. You can easily connect to a 5K display for a desktop setup, or connect an external GPU to play graphics-intensive games at good frame rates without having to buy a full desktop PC setup. If you're interested in seeing us try that out, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss it. While the 2018 MacBook Air isn't perfect thanks to its lack of ports, those features really make it the best MacBook option for most people. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, like it and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out our price guide, which makes it extremely easy to find the best deals on Apple products, updated daily. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next video.